Let's start with love.
L.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Sing the song.
What song?
L
Oh.
is for the way. You don't know that song?
No. Who's it by? Jeffrey
That's
Dahmer?
one of the. Okay. No.
Oh.
Love by Nat King Cole. That's like the most
my boy
famous
Nat.
love song, I feel like.
Is for the way you look at me?
Oh, is for the only one I see.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've heard it.
Okay.
Yeah. It just doesn't, it's not burned into my brain.
What?
L is for the way she looks at me. Oh, is for the way
That
she's
is
my
not
only.
No, that's
V
not the tone.
is for the voluptuous
No.
booty.
No,
No.
it's a sweet song. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more.
V is extraordinary?
It says V is very, very extraordinary.
Okay.
E
is for
is
everyone.
even more than anyone that you adore and love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two.
It's not
Two and
ringing a bell
love
too well.
can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it.
Mm-mm.
Love was
Is it kinda
made for
jazzy?
me
It's jazzy,
and
right?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you never watch Parent Trap?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the opening song.
Yeah, but you have to remember that I don't remember things like
Okay.
that. I watched it when I was really young.
Well, yeah, love. Here's another love song.
It's for the way you look at me.
You won't know this song.
Yeah.
But there's another one. Because I was thinking about this when we said
It's for your only. You gotta say it like that, or else it won't rhyme.
No.
Does he say it like that? V is for, that's two V's. Very, very way you eyeball me.
You.
E is for the love I give to everybody.
Okay, here's another one.
1, 2, 3.
This is another love song. You won't know this song, but it's by Music Soul Child. And it's called, and the lyrics are, love, so many people use your name in vain. Love, those who have faith in you sometimes go astray. Love, through all the ups and downs, the joys and hurts. Love, for better or worse, I still will choose you first. Isn't that beautiful?
Sure.
I have another one for you.
Okay. I like more metaphoric things. When someone says something like love, many people use you in vain. It's like, yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's true.
Show me.
Talk to me about how you're in the eye of the hurricane and you're looking for a way out, but there's no light shining through the wind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's another one. This one's called Teach Me.
How to love?
Yes. No, it's just called Teach Me.
I know, but
It's
is it
also,
about how to
yes.
love?
Yes. And it's also by the same person, Music Soul Child.
Nat King Cole?
No, Music Soul Child.
Oh, yeah.
Teach me how to love.
Yeah.
Show me the way to surrender my heart. Girl, I'm so lost. Teach me how to love. How I can get my emotions involved. Teach me. Show me how to love. And then it repeats. These are good love songs.
It sounds pretty straightforward to me.
It is pretty straightforward, but love is not as complicated as we make it out to be.
I don't want it to be complicated. I just want it to be poetic.
Why?
Anything outside of some kind of, like, I mean, you can say I love you, and that's perfectly, do that. But maybe it's because it's overdone. Like, I love the way you brush your hair.
Oh,
like,
you're talking about
stuff
music?
like that.
You don't love songs to be-
but just like if anyone's like, maybe it's because I've never, depending on what people are talking about in the song, I've never looked at someone and thought, man, I love the way they brush their hair. It's like you're brushing your hair. Okay, cool.
Where are you getting this brushing your hair from?
I don't know. That's just an example that
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people are saying, man, that,
Well, give me an
that
example.
person brushes their hair.
What I think that, like, if there's something specific about the person that you're with and they're doing something that's out of the ordinary that other people don't usually do when performing an activity or something, then I think it makes sense to be like, I love the way you do this because of, like, you know, that extra layer you put on top of it, right? But otherwise, I don't know. It, like, a lot of that stuff. Welcome to the A to Z podcast, everybody, with your hosts Zachary Birdsong and
Amber Long.
And we're talking about love, and we've been getting into it, and we're here talking about it, getting into it.
Tired.
And we are tired. We're a little tired, but we're here for you.
Woo.
We're here for you.
Woo. And your love life.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what
Cheesiness.
What are you talking about?
Love can be cheesy, y'all. Love can be cheesy. And I don't like cheesy love, I guess is what I'm saying.
What makes love cheesy?
It's a great question.
I know.
It's a question that would have made me think.
I have a podcast.
Or wish that I had thought a little bit more about the why. The why is it
Well,
cheesy?
give me an example of a cheesy, something where you're like, that's a cheesy
really putting me on the
expression.
spot. Why are you asking me to go deeper into
I'm
my
trying to get.
statements?
I'm
This
trying
is
to prompt
crazy.
you
This
to
is
help you.
wild. I don't know, like, okay, yeah, things like this. When people say, like, you know, I couldn't live my life without you, you are the most, like, you are the light of my life, and it's like, and for some people that, you know, that could very well be the case.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, too, though, I would kind of want to tell them that they need to do something about that.
You need to get some independence.
Help. Yeah. Yes, I would say that because you know, they, like, people perish in life, and if you love someone deeply, and you should love people deeply, but if you love them so deeply to the point, and that's why it really, and because then you hear people say stuff like that, and their spouse or whoever does die, and you know, they're really sad about it, right? Should be, makes sense. But they live on, and they make a life for themselves afterwards and stuff, which is why it sounds or feels, I guess, cheesy to me, is because when people say things like that, I don't, and it kind of pisses me off now that I think about it, I don't think they're really meaning it. They're saying it because it just, like, feels right, and they think it sounds good, and they're just using it as a way to express the amount of love they have for the other person, but what they're saying isn't really true, right?
But how do you know it's not true?
Well, because if, like, that's what I mean, is if the other person dies, or if they break up, or you know, whatever, and they continue on their life, it wasn't the case then that they couldn't live without them. They're doing it.
Yes, but it's just, is it meant to be taken that way? Like, don't you do okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, well, because
Fair enough.
I, like, don't say it. Like, if it's like, use a metaphor, if you want to use a metaphor for how much, like, I love you to the moon and back. I think that's sweet. Stuff like that, like, I think that's sweet because it's meant to be taken. It doesn't sound like serious. It's just meant to be like a way to kind of, quote unquote, measure how much love you have to give to that person. And so I think saying stuff like that is more sweet because it's got a little bit more, like, poeticism to it. It doesn't come off as like you're trying to say something deeply serious to them, right? But if you say something like, I want you to know I couldn't live without you. You are my light. You are my life. I'm like, get a grip. Get a grip, okay? That if you're saying it because that's just how you're just kind of trying to get a point across.
But that
like,
person may feel that way.
I know, but if they do, then that's why I would say get a grip, because that's problematic for you.
Sure.
If you love a person so much, because what that almost tells me is that you are not living for yourself, you're living for this person. And so if something happens between you and them, or if something happens to them, then you're out of luck, because you're putting all your marbles in this basket. You shouldn't be putting most of your marbles in the basket owned by another person because you don't know what they're going to do with those marbles. They can shake them up. They can break them. They can throw them to the wayside. They can slowly, over time, pick them out of the basket and put them somewhere else, and you don't even know. And that's your finances.
Okay.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that love is like what people call love is actually many different things. And love is like this catch-all term, and in some ways it's a syndrome.
Whoa.
Yeah. But what you're describing, that level of like dependency of like, oh, I can't live, I can't breathe without you, perhaps isn't love because it's not coming from a secure place. It's coming from this very desperate place. I don't know what you would even call that. Because, right, like there are things, there's passion. And then there's like limerence, which is sort of like on that obsessive side of love.
Yeah.
And then there's which is similar, infatuation, just being like so, enamored and like kind of obsessed with someone, or just like deeply drawn to them. But is it love, or is it just like love-ish mixed with like deep curiosity and like mystery? Is love mysterious? I saw somebody say that the other day, that there was some, like, I don't remember where I was looking, that was saying that love, it was on the Big Bang Theory.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. So on the Big Bang Theory,
season 3, episode 12.
it was one of the latter seasons. It's around the time when Bernadette and Howard find out they're about to have their second kid. And Raj was going on this date with a girl who was also a scientist. And Raj is like a hopeless romantic.
Oh, yeah.
He is a type 4 Enneagram. And he was talking to the scientist, and she was like, love's just the chemicals in your brain.
Right.
That produce these feelings. And he was like, what the heck? And she was like, just because we're scientists, just because we know how it works doesn't make it any less magical. And he was like, yes, it does. It does. And I thought that was so interesting because I remember talking to someone that I loved, still love, just different kind of love, and we were talking about how I viewed relationships and how clinical I can be about romantic love, or the steps that produce or lead people to the feelings of love and then reinforce it. And I used to be really into like, let's do this quiz to like grow our bond, or like, let's figure this out. Like I used to be really into just like the technical parts of love, if you will. And I remember talking to this person, and they are a scientist, and they were like, you're basically like, you're sucking the magic out of this. You're sucking the feeling out of this thing. But the weird thing is I had feeling in abundance, so it wasn't affecting my ability to feel.
Well, and that's why I don't really like responses like that, because it sounds like they're probably saying it just more relative to them. Hearing you talk to them, the scientist or whoever you were talking to was saying that you were sucking the what did you call it? The what out of it?
I don't know what I said.
The fun, the reality out of it, the magic. The
magic, the just like natural.
But that's just relative. If it didn't do it for you, then you weren't sucking it out for you. You were just sucking it out for them. They didn't want to think about it.
I think what it is though is that people, like, when it comes to their feelings, and maybe you and I have this in common, is that like, I mean, I'm a deeply feeling person. But that doesn't mean that I cannot have, like, I have extremely rational thoughts about my feelings. And I can explain them in great detail once I recognize what they are. Even if I can't recognize what they are, I can describe them such that someone else can say, this sounds like this. Because of that, because I don't just leave my feelings and my emotions as feelings that are, or things that aren't unprocessed but just experienced. For me, I can tell everybody in my life, you know, and I actually have a really hard time saying I love you, as everybody ought to know. If you know me, you should know that. Not a fan. Doesn't mean I don't love you. I love you so much that that's what makes it hard to say it, because it's a lot for me. But I could tell everybody in my life. Like, I could sit down and write people probably a front to back page of why I love them. You know, and I feel like some people would see that as something like you should just feel it. It should just be a mystery. And I'm like, that's dumb. Because that's what Raj ended up saying, is that, like, love is mysterious and love is spiritual. And I don't feel like I don't feel that way.
Whenever when you were talking and first brought it up about it being mysterious, the first thing that came to my mind was that maybe that saying came to be because of how the brain works with novelty. And because usually when you think about, like, love is mysterious too, I kind of think about, meeting someone new, right? Or how someone can, like, get into a relationship, get settled, and then they meet this new person, and they say that they're mysterious, but it's really just because they don't, like, what they're saying is that they don't know them.
I genuinely don't know what people mean by mysterious. So is that what they're talking about?
That was one thing that came to mind. Okay. I don't know if that's like, maybe it comes in different facets. But that was one thing, because it sounds like maybe Raj in that episode was talking about something a little bit different. But when you brought it up and were initially talking about it, that's the first thing that came to my mind, was that mysteriousness is also just kind of another way of saying novel, but not even necessarily, because you can meet someone and the relationship with that person be new, but they can remain mysterious as long as they keep things from you at a distance, right?
Yeah.
But then you're never truly knowing them. Yeah, it does.
By the way,
it does. Well, because then the it's no longer mysteriousness. It's kind of like, why are you hiding things from me?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and also, so I wanted to bring up, there's a researcher. Her name is Helen Fisher, Dr. Helen Fisher, and she passed away, but she was a biological anthropologist. Mm-hmm. And so she kind of broke down love into these 3 core brain systems. And so it's the lust, or your sex drive, your romantic attraction, and then your attachment.
Okay. Interesting.
And that at any time, love basically the feeling of love can come into play. I think she essentially said when 2 of those are kind of like at play. Mm-hmm. Then that can start to produce, and it can be any combination of the 3 in 2. But what I kind of think is that the attachment piece of it sometimes can, like, rely, because here's the like AI whatever description is saying: attachment, the deep feeling of union, comfort, and commitment that develops with a long-term partner. So if somebody is constantly and it says this phase is dominated by the release of oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, and vasopressin, allowing couples to tolerate each other and raise children as a team. So after a while, if there's too much mystery, I'm not going to be able to settle into a feeling of attachment, right? Because I don't feel comfortable. I don't really know you.
I was about to say, unless you're the type of person that is comfortable with that level of not feeling like you fully know a person.
Who is comfortable with that?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I'm leaving it open.
Okay. Not me.
But typically, yes, I would agree with you.
And so, the other part was the romantic attraction. So saying the intense obsessive in love phase, where a person focuses all their mating energy on one specific individual. It is characterized by cravings, intense energy, and a loss of sleep. This system is heavily fueled by high levels of dopamine and norepinephrine, as well as lower levels of serotonin.
If you think you're out there and you believe you're in a romantic relationship with somebody, but you're not losing sleep, I don't know.
They've got to
I
be
don't
on
know.
your mind.
You got to be
stealing the
staying up
show.
late.
And then the other one is the sex drive. So driven by the release of estrogen and androgens like testosterone, the system motivates individuals to seek out sexual gratification
Yikes.
and a wide range of partners. So
In a wide range of partners.
why are you laughing?
Because it's interesting because it's about love, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about the singular person that you might be trying to, have your attention captured by, and so I don't know. The multiple partners thing is just funny to me, and then losing sleep as a specific criteria is
look
funny
up
to me.
everyone look up her research, and she has a couple like YouTube videos where she's explaining these systems, and I don't know that the AI summary is doing her justice, but it's really interesting.
I'm not laughing at her.
No, I know you're not, but I'm saying like look more into it, because I did feel like I was going through it. I'm still kind of in it, as you know. This love is dead kind of phase, but I don't really feel that way. I think just my old way of viewing love is dead. And I'm trying to rediscover what I think love really means and what it looks like. And I felt like that explanation of like, well, it's not one thing, it's a few things coming together. It was a little bit helpful, because I'm kind of like, I think that I'm in a phase where I'm relying on like, how does the world work? How does the body work? What can we explain? And what do we know? And not leaving things up to this kind of mysterious thing, but trying to understand like, okay, so what have we seen? What do we know? And she was saying that a lot of people were very critical of her for wanting to study love. And they were like, because they said love is mysterious, it cannot be explained. And so like people, her colleagues were kind of scoffing at her for wanting to research this.
That's weird.
It is weird, but that makes sense. Like, if this is something that we can do as humans, if this is a part of pair bonding, and it's a part of raising young individuals, which, humans are notoriously as babies, some of the most burdensome creatures, because they require so many resources and like subdivision, supervision, because they can't do shit for themselves, unlike other babies that come out and they're relatively functional in like a few weeks. And our babies take forever.
Yeah.
They can't even come out walking.
Try harder, babies.
And so like we have to have evolved to care for these creatures that come out of our body, these aliens, and then to care for the people who helped us make them. I saw this thing too that said that the reason why a lot of women are attracted to bad boys, I guess there's like a theory in psychology and evolutionary psychology, that you're attracted to bad boys because the biggest, the strongest dude, he was the one who was most likely to produce offspring that would survive and do best for the group. And so he would mate with everybody. And then weaker males would essentially come and raise his children that he had with the women, because they just wanted to be loved. They just wanted a place in the group. Yeah, I'm probably paraphrasing this in like a really hurtful way, but I was like, that's crazy. And then the big bad, whatever, he would move on. He would go to another village and do it again.
Oh,
and he would just leave behind.
I don't know, but then he'd have to fight that tribe's big man.
If they had one.
They would have one relatively, so they would that one and this one would have to go fight.
Maybe he would,
I don't know.
They would die, and he would.
I don't know.
Continue mating. I don't know.
Damn.
Look that up too.
Yeah, I will.
Don't listen to me.
I won't.
But I was like, it just makes it's interesting to think about, especially these days when there's love, that you can love. Like, love is not, like a bee sting, where you can only do it once.
Oh,
Yeah. And then, fun fact, I just recently learned that if a bee stings you and you let it, unwind itself, it won't die. And it can just fly off and keep on living.
Oh, like if it keeps its stinger in?
Yeah, because the stinger doesn't break off. And
Right.
that, too, is a metaphor for love, I do believe.
Oh, don't break off your, yeah, don't break off your stinger in someone else. That's like the people who are breaking off their stinger on someone else are the people who are saying, I can't live without you.
Yes. Yeah. Because you can.
Exactly.
You're right. You
Yes.
can.
Yes.
You can.
Don't be a bee who leaves your stinger in the arm of some.
Unwind your stinger
Yeah.
and keep on flying, brother.
Yeah. Get that corkscrew out. Yeah.
But it also requires the person who you've stung to be patient and not kill you
No.
in the process.
Nope.
Let you
I don't believe that.
unwind it.
You unwind it quicker. Unwind it quicker. You've got the power.
Metaphors.
If you can sting, you can unsting just
Okay.
as quick. I don't quite understand as well the perception of the antagonism about looking into love as a science and how it works. And, well, I guess I do. It's because people just want it to remain over there so they can continue to feel good about it. Because no one's saying the same thing about things like fear or anger. No one's like, let's not try to find out why we feel these things, right? Because those are things to quote unquote fix. You know, no one's thinking like, oh, love needs to be fixed, but it kind of does
You know
in
what?
some regard.
You know what I think it could be? Because you're right. No one's doing that for fear. No one's doing that for anger. People are doing it for happiness, as we know, because there was that one guy that we listened to, and he's a researcher. I think he's a clinical psychologist who works at Harvard, who studies happiness, and he's come up with a framework. I think he's even like written a book at this point, telling people how to become happier. And I think that with love, it's the case that love is so. I think people don't want to be manipulated. And so they don't want love to feel formulaic because they want to feel, and maybe this is the mystery. People want to fall in love. They want it to feel like something that's out of their control. You know, they want to be like, you know, like when people say the things like, you can't help who you love. I disagree. I think you can't always help who you're attracted to, but you don't have to open yourself up to interacting with someone if you don't want to. And if you don't open yourself up to interacting with them, you will not fall in love. So
Okay, but that's different. That's like a different statement.
I don't think so.
You can when someone says you can't help who you've fallen in love with, I feel like they're saying once you've fallen in love, you can't help the fact that you have. You can't
Sure,
you can't
but you
fall out of
can-
love. What you're saying is that you can deter yourself from getting in a situation with the person who you wouldn't want to fall in love with and get out of there.
Yes.
I agree, but I think they're two different things. I'm sorry.
think that
I'm
when
sorry.
it could be two different things,
I'm sorry.
but when people are just blanketly saying statements, they can be open to interpretation.
That's true.
So
That's
I
true.
think you should know, or just be aware that you can definitely, because if you have a type and your type is a toxic person,
A toxic douchebag.
then you should probably not open yourself up to that kind of person anymore.
Agreed. Yeah.
And so you can help who you can fall in love smarter, and you can
Yes,
fall in
there we go.
love safer.
Yeah, I like that.
than what we think that we don't get a say. We don't have a choice. And I think you do.
Yes.
To some extent.
I agree with that.
Like I was watching this it was one of those probably AI animation videos, but it was a video that was talking about like,
You and AI, Amber.
I
You
know,
got
I'm sorry.
You got a
It's just
relationship with it.
I don't,
Do you
but
love
it just no,
Do you love
I don't love it. But
It's just there. I get
yes, and it was an interesting topic. The video was just on like, basically, I think I would say like, I don't know if you would frame it as like, it was just like non-Western, I want to say non-traditional, non-heterosexual relationships in sub-Saharan Africa pre-colonialism.
it. See, when you talk about niche, that's niche.
So that's why I was like, I was curious about this video.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just talking about how many, like, how people, they may have, like, like, if there's a male and he may have a female wife, but then he'll also have a male wife. Like a younger male.
Oh, yeah. They're always younger.
Be their wife,
Mm-hmm.
like second wife or something like that. Or like there were women were like that too. Like they would be like the older women would be the husband, and they would have a younger wife.
So are these words though just used to they're not equatable necessarily to how we currently view? Is it more about the roles these people have?
It was like simple. I mean, I guess
Is it more just about like, you are responsible for taking care of this? There wasn't the sexual.
No, there was.
Oh, okay.
They were partners.
All right.
And it was just like a part of the system. But then, and I bring this up as it relates to love because there was one person who, and then there were like other stories about like, they were like two, like people who were closer in age who had like a relationship. And it was very normal to have that relationship. And I guess there was a person who, like an author who was writing about like, as Christianity was coming in, the loss of that relationship and the loss of her like wife, girlfriend type of, I can't remember what kind of like level the relationship was at, but like how the person was genuinely sad and missed having that. And it makes me think of kind of like the Greek framework of like, is it because of they had a sexual relationship? Is that what the person missed? Because now they just got to keep having sex with a man all the time and maybe they don't want to do that. Or was it like the closeness that you could have with a female friend, and then because that was kind of like stigmatized by Christianity, how close that they could be, because it looked like a lesbian relationship, whether or not it was intimate, that then you're now shut off to different kinds of love and the potential for those loves to be deeply meaningful, because maybe like the heterosexual, marriage or whatever is deemed the highest or the most important love or the only love that you can really have.
Well, and
outside of like with your children or something.
Right. With that kind of change too, you're going to be, there's going to be, like you're saying, more of a stigma on it at first. And so if people knew like, oh, they were kind of a thing, like it's like, oh, keep them separated. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that probably would have made it harder. Because if there wasn't that, if it was just someone that you befriended, like, later on after all this had like occurred, then there probably wouldn't have been as much of like a push to keep them separate, maybe. So yeah, maybe it was just because it was heightened at that point too, if it was during the period of change itself. Do you want to get into the Greek?
Yeah.
The Greek things? I don't know if we'll be pronouncing these right.
Probably
either.
Not.
Because this first one, it reads like agape.
Agape.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Oh, yep, I was going to say it reads like agape, but it sounds like agape. And that is, translated literally, it seems, affection as in greet with affection and show affection for the dead. Interesting.
So like love for like when people have love for their ancestors, so to speak?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
I didn't know that's what that meant.
It's also used to refer to a love feast. The Christian priest and philosopher Thomas Aquinas described agape as to will the good of another.
Oh, so what is it? I'm gonna Google it. I'm confused.
So I guess it's both, because the first part did say as in greet with affection, and then in a different pair of quotes, show affection for the dead. So it's kind of just like, this seems to be kind of just a general affection. Like you're just like saying, hey, may blessings upon you.
Yes.
Right? Like I care for your well-being, basically.
This other thing is saying that, let me click on a real website, not just rely on the AI summary, because you know me. It's like unconditional love. It says, according to Very Well Mind, it is the highest form of love, focusing on selflessness and prioritizing others. Practicing agape love improves mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Simple acts of kindness like paying for someone else or listening show agape love.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say that's just kind of like a general care or mindfulness,
Altruism,
a mindfulness of others.
Yeah. Well, not. I mean, yeah.
If
I guess
you're-
define
yeah.
mindfulness.
Like you were
Consideration.
Yes, yeah. You are placing them within your space and allowing them the opportunity. Like you are interacting with them in a positive manner because you have some feelings of care for it. So you're being
caring for them.
mindful around them. Yeah. Like listening to them or opening the whatever.
I feel like that's one of the loves that people are really bad at right now.
Oh yeah. That general love is dead. When people say love is dead,
It's
agape is dead.
Agape is definitely dead. Because I think everybody's so worried about extraction. What are people going to take from me? How are they going to wrong me in this process if I show them generosity?
It's the distrust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
That's why you just gotta go out there and trust people.
I don't know about that.
You just gotta give all your trust
No.
to people.
No.
And then the next one is eros, which means love mostly of the sexual passion. The modern Greek word erotos means intimate love, though.
That's where we get probably erotic from.
Yep.
Everyone knows what that is. We don't got to explain it.
Yep. We don't have to go into detail about what that means, but I was going to say when a man and a woman really love each other, but I guess it's when anyone really loves each other. But then there are multiple different scenarios in which you could describe what happens there. So, yeah, we'll leave it up to the imagination. And the next one is philia, which means affectionate regard, friendship, usually between equals. So, sorry, if you're someone's boss, you can't have philia for your subordinate. Sorry. That's agape. Get it right.
Yeah. So this one is the friendship one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Philia is the friendship one.
Do you feel like... I was thinking about... Okay. Follow me. No, I'm not even going to say it.
Do
Never
it.
mind.
Do it. I'm ready to
No.
follow. I got
No.
my sandals on. Don't look at my feet.
I wasn't going to. I'm not going to say it.
Say it. Say it.
Okay.
I can take it out if
Okay.
you hate it.
On the way here, I was thinking about... I don't even know how I started thinking about it. Oh, I know. So I was thinking about when you have a friend and you text your friend to hang out with them or whatever, and they don't respond. But if you know that they have a really active social life, then this is not me passive aggressively. Okay, I just need to clarify this.
So it didn't happen to you?
I'm not talking about Zach. I just need everybody to know that.
Oh, yeah. No, I
So-
knew that.
If you have a friend,
It's about someone else. She's talking about someone
I'm talking
else.
about many different else's. Like I've been on both, I've been on both sides of this, so that's why I was thinking about this. But like, if you have a friend, you text your friend because you want to talk to them or you want to hang out with them, and they don't respond, but you see that they have a very active social life, and so you're like, okay, so you're responding to someone.
I'm bad at
It's
this.
not that you're a bad communicator, you're not a bad texter. I think it's just the case that you have more friends, quote unquote, in your life than who you actually care about and want to spend your time with on a regular basis. You may sometimes like someone, but liking and caring about people are two different things. And then on top of that, you can like someone, you can care about them, and you can not really want to be around them that much. And it's not because there's anything wrong with them. You're just not attracted to them in that way, where you want to spend a lot of time with them, a platonic attraction.
Yeah, vibe. Yeah.
Yes. And so sometimes I wonder, like, there are people, and I feel like this happens to everybody at one point or another, because this happened to me.
Cha.
I've been like this, where you have too many friends. And I say that to say you're calling all these people friends. They think you're friends, but you're not really friends. You're people who will hang out sometimes, I don't know if that makes you a friend.
Acquaintances. But you know what? I don't think I've ever necessarily had that problem. Because I think because I do have a lot of people around me, but if they were to ask me straight up, I probably wouldn't call them a friend.
I know you would. I don't know that you give off the pretense that you care about people more than you do. Like, I don't know. I
don't
like
unnecessarily go out of my way, I guess.
I feel like everybody knows, like with you, it's like, these are my, like, oh no, we're cool here. We're cool in this space.
Yeah, this is where you stop.
Yeah, but we're not like homies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're pretty good about that.
Mm-hmm.
But other people are not.
True.
They're not good about it.
True.
So think
I
about
probably could
that
be a bit more forthright in a few.
with a couple people.
Yeah, that I could. Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard because you don't want to. It's like breaking up with someone. It's like
Well, it's
having
also
to tell
because
them
it's
I
not
don't feel that way about you.
It's also because because sometimes it's difficult. Because sometimes it's not about the actual other person, but there's like an internal roadblock that you have because of like a preconceived notion that you're holding on to or something, or like a past feeling that you're holding on to that's not necessarily fair and not necessarily true, but it's just like
about
kind of
them or about other people.
About them, but also maybe like, you know, maybe they have like specific personality traits that kind of just like you associate with something negative in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not negative from them, but you have a hard time getting past that barrier.
Interesting.
And so, yeah.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what? I felt that way about you in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got over it. Because
Yeah.
I was like, that's not what's happening here.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
this is a good person.
you didn't like that I was positive.
No, I didn't.
You hated that I had good things to say.
It's always happy
said,
all the
"Hold on,
goddamn time.
Hold on, no one can be like this.
Jesus.
He's fake. He's not real. I can't trust him because no one in their right mind
Pretty
can
much
be like this."
If I see people, I'm sorry, it's a toxic trait of mine. But if you're happy all the time, I'm like, that's not possible.
Yeah, but then we started to get to talking more,
And then
you
I was
brought
like,
me
yeah,
down
he's
some. You know, yeah.
I
Yeah.
made
You
him
made me a little bit more
depressed.
pessimistic. Yeah. So you were like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can trust him because now he's starting to agree with some of the things that I'm saying. But you know what? Now he's seeming a little bit more sad here and there. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You know, like about a year in, he's starting to really go through something here. Is this tied somehow? Maybe? I don't know. Wow. Weird. Yeah.
No, it's not my fault. It is not my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
I choose to believe personally that I'm just the type of person that people know when I'm going through a hard time, I can tell her about this because she's not going to think differently of me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She'll understand. And I know that because I know that people have come to me and they said, I remember you talked about this one time. So I thought that I could talk about this with you because I knew you would understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I do.
And you know what? I will say, I have a pretty big reservoir, I think, of agape and philia because I have been told some things by people, friends, that I feel like if others heard it,
They would be done with that.
that are ready to like cancel people or whatever, kind of with that mindset, right? That they'd be like, oh no,
I agree.
no, this is done. This
Yeah.
is done. But that's where like I feel as if the humanness comes in there, the understanding of when you're, because in each scenario when the person told me whatever it was, they weren't bragging about it. They weren't like, it was a very meek kind of like,
Yeah, they had remorse.
yeah. And you gotta understand that. You gotta understand that. It's so important. But yeah.
And that's called empathy.
That is called empathy. Empathy. What's the song? Empathy. Put some of it in you and me. Is that it? Oh, you
I
know
don't
what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, yeesh. Maybe someone
like
else
you
out
just
there will
made it
know.
up.
No. The next one is storge. Not to be confused with storage, which means love, affection, and especially of parents and children. So the elderly and the young. It is rarely used in ancient works almost exclusively to describe family relationships. Okay.
That's also, I think, suffering these days.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It may also express mere acceptance or tolerance. Yeah, there you go. As in loving the tyrant. It may also describe love of country or enthusiasm for a favorite sports team.
Interesting.
I
So
love
it's
my
like there's
my
like
sports team is my family.
Tribalism.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
the love that's a part of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
I haven't either. Storage. Y'all
Is
gotta
there-
build some more storage out there because y'all be just leaving people left and right.
True that. I know that you don't have, you're not in love with a sports team or anything, but is there a fan? Are you a fan of something to the level that it is this kind of love?
Take a guess.
Are you in a tribe of sorts?
Take
Muse.
a guess. Yep. Very good. Very
Would
good. They
you-
just released an album yesterday, y'all. Well, I say yesterday, but CST, it was 11 p.m. on Thursday night.
Would you get in a group of other Museites?
I frequent some
Musicians, if
threads.
you will.
I frequent some threads.
Okay.
And have I said much in them? Not much. Have I said a few things? Yes. Do I enjoy reading the opinions and thoughts of others and share in the glamour that is this most recent album? Yes, I do. I do enjoy that. Do I do that with anything else? No.
Interesting.
No, not really. But I also don't do it with Muse often because it's excuse me, because it's just whenever. My goodness. My God.
Second time.
You do got slippery hands this morning then.
Yeah.
But it's really just been whenever they release something, which makes sense because, I mean, otherwise I'm not keeping up with their, so I don't know, I guess there are levels. I'm not keeping up with their lives, right? Like apparently this is like kind of a breakup album from Mr. Matt, and I didn't know much about that going into it. So, or maybe not breakup, but like a love loss kind of thing, you know? So I didn't know much about that going into it, but a lot of other people did. So I don't keep up with it to that extent, but in terms of how much I, like, where my range is, it's the highest with Muse in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something similar?
I think I feel that way about Avatar, both of them. Like I like talking about Avatar with people, both of them. But there's not a big, I feel like it feels like there's not a big following for the James Cameron Avatar.
Oh, the blue?
Yeah. That people are just like, oh, you know, they just treat them as like action movies. But I'm like, no, you don't understand.
There's so much here. You just don't get it.
Psychology and ecofeminism built into these stories, but also they're problematic because they're stealing, you know, cultural symbols and practices without giving credit to the cultures.
Cam, this is a side note. Cam told me about the eco-patriarchy the other day. She told me that
They're in everything.
Well, she said that I think it was because of the fruits that the female trees produce and stuff like that a lot less of those were planted because of the mess, I guess. And so a lot more male trees were planted, which has increased like the pollen. Something like that. I could be explaining it wrong.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I could be explaining it wrong.
Men-
Cam knew what she was talking
men-
about, so if I said something wrong.
It's the same thing. You can't handle the periods, blood, the uteri
My God.
of the plants or
From
the
plants
ladies.
to blood.
Yeah.
We hate it all, to
You
be
guys
fair.
are the worst. Men are the worst. Anyway,
Storage.
that's
and
crazy.
We love our families.
Yes.
I like how it's
no,
about family.
We know
we
that.
don't.
We know that. We don't have to talk about that. Also, I feel
Amber
that way.
loves her family.
I do. This.
Amber loves her sister.
Okay.
Amber loves her mom.
Okay.
Amber loves her dad. That's it. I'm just sticking with immediate family members.
All right.
I'm saying it for you so you don't have to.
I'm also.
I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my brother older and my brother younger. I'm done. And my wife. Hi, Cam. She can't say hi back.
Okay, next love.
Oh, no, you go on. I
Moving
just had
on.
to. I did it for you, so I had to do it for myself because you weren't going to do it for me.
They know we love them. Damn
It's
it.
nice to hear it, Amber.
Moving going on?
Okay. All right. She's getting emotional. That's how you know it's true. What the hell? Philachia means self-love. Not to be confused with fellatio, I suppose.
I'm like, are you sure?
It's philatia, to love oneself or proper regard for
Philautia?
and attention to one's own happiness or well-being.
Mm.
And it has been conceptualized both as a basic human necessity and as a moral flaw akin to vanity and selfishness. I like that. I do think it's kind of a moral failing. I kind of do.
What?
If you don't take good care of yourself and you don't show appreciation and love for yourself and
That
you're
says
not,
vanity or selfishness.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you're saying on the flip side.
Hmm.
That's not what they're saying.
I'm saying, well, okay, so they're saying if you take it to the extreme, yeah, if you take it to the extreme, that's a moral flaw. I'm saying the other way, too. I'm saying if you don't do well enough for yourself, that's a moral failing on yourself. You're not doing well by yourself. And I would say that's a moral failing. In my subjective personal opinion, if I may say all the things that show that this is not objective fact of any kind. It's my personal belief.
Mm-hmm.
The Greeks further divided this love into positive and a negative one. The unhealthy version is the self-obsessed love, and the other is the concept of self-compassion. Aristotle also considers philautia to be the root of a general kind of love for family, friends, and the enjoyment of an activity, as well as that between lovers. So it almost kind of sounds like Aristotle is saying that first, before you can
Masturbation.
love... What?
That's not what you got from that?
What? What are you talking about? Masturbation? I was just about to go on a whole rant about how you need to love, about how Aristotle's saying you need to love yourself before you're able to love others, and you blurt out masturbation. There was no
Is
sexual...
that not what they're talking about?
No! It's talking about literal self-love.
As well as that between lovers.
Yes. did you
Self-love
not-
between lovers with
No,
oneself
Amber, not
is that.
No. I'm going to reread the sentence, okay? I'm going to reread it for you.
Don't. Let's just move
no,
on.
No, I'm not going to move on. Don't do that.
Edit it out.
No, I'm not. Stop it. Aristotle also considers philautia to be the root of a general
I
kind...
don't think you're
Hold
saying
on.
this right.
I...
Fill out tortilla.
It's not a Hispanic tortilla. Okay? It's the Greek
Flautas.
word. Please let me finish this sentence. Do you think you can do that? He says it's the root of a general kind of love for family, friends, and the enjoyment of an activity, as well as that between lovers. Okay? The love between lovers. Okay? I think what he's saying here, are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Is that you need to first have self-love before you can really love other. That's why he's saying it's the root of that general kind of love.
Okay. Yep.
And Amber saying next to Aristotle, go ye on, be masturbateful. Be full of masturbate.
That's not what I'm saying.
Get you some.
Okay.
Get you some of your own hands.
The last one.
The last one here is I'll let you pronounce that. How about that?
Xenia.
Which is an ancient Greek concept of hospitality.
Which is crazy because I literally was thinking yesterday, what if I'd name one of my daughters Xenia? Deadass.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Didn't even know what it meant.
in Greek, that would mean guest friendship or ritualized friendship. She'd be telling your daughter, "Hey, I love you because I birthed you."
Friendship. So hospitality is ritualized friendship.
Hospitality towards foreigners and traveling Hellenes was understood as a moral obligation under the patronage of Zeus and Athene.
Athena.
Athene.
Athene.
Many understand the Odyssey as a story principally concerned with the concept. For instance, the failure of the suitors of Penelope to appropriately welcome disguised Odysseus into his home can be seen as justification for their subsequent demise. Wow. So it's being very open to people whom you are not aware of or familiar with. And
basically what it's saying is if you're xenophobic,
yeah,
root word, you should die. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they're saying that would happen.
Just kidding.
Well, no.
That is what it said.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Right. Amber's not saying. I
like that. This kind of love. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, because it is a little bit different from agape, which is like those that you're kind of familiar with, that you're around maybe on like a day-to-day basis, but you're not friends with, right? Necessarily, you can be, but Xenia is more about, those you don't know, you've maybe just met them, right? Or you see them once and you're never going to see them again.
Yeah, and treating them with
compassion,
this sort of like, and it's not necessarily meant to suggest that we're close, but it's to suggest that, like, while you're here, I'll care for you.
Right. It was a social institution requiring generosity, gift exchange, and reciprocity.
I think that's also one of the things that's not very common. Like, it's definitely lacking these days. And I don't know. I wonder, my thinking of why this one is a little bit lower is because people don't have a lot to give anymore. Maybe people just their resources are strained, so it's hard for them. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe people don't travel enough anymore, get out much. I don't know. I mean, people don't invite people to their homes as much anymore.
I think it's the fear. I think it's just the fear and the distrust.
Fear, yeah, I think so.
I think a lot of our problems, because you need trust, to love. And so I think a lot of the problems, if we're looking over these and we're thinking, oh, this is lacking now, this one's lacking now, I think it all whittles down to the lack of trust and the negative perception that is just being held by people without the avenue for grace, I think is what it is. Yeah.
I want to go back real fast. If we feel that trust is so instrumental to these other forms of love, tell me your thoughts on trust as it pertains to this.
I have plenty. Because the times in which I don't like myself or that I'm upset with myself are the times in which I say that I want to be doing something, or I can tell that I have this desire for something, but that I'm not doing it. So I can't trust myself. Because if I say, oh, I'm going to get home today and I'm going to, take part in this activity and I want to do this and I want to do that, but instead I do something completely different that's not in alignment with any of my values, it's like I get upset at myself. And then I can't trust that I'm going to do what I say. And so that doesn't build a good relationship with yourself. And over time, that degrades your perception of yourself. And I think can lead to loss of that self-love.
So in this sense, do you feel like that's so much more about your intrinsic actions and feelings? And
what do you mean by intrinsic actions?
You're right. Oxymoronic.
Oxymoronic.
But in the sense of like, if you sometimes, like, people will have like self-love, right, or self-care. These days we talk a lot about self-care, and it has to do with like, I'm gonna take myself to the spa.
Yeah, that's why
I'm gonna beautify myself.
Yeah, I feel like the idea of self-care now is like in that way has been co-opted to be more about excess than what's actually
like
necessary.
Pampering yourself versus like,
I need a break today.
Yeah.
I you know what, I deserve to just stay in and watch a movie.
So why do you think then it becomes so like, I don't want to say materialistic, but maybe that's the best word. Why is it so focused on like these other things.
I think it's in part because of capitalism and the commodification of care, so that you go out and spend money.
So do you think if we didn't have that, it would be easier to love yourself? If the idea of caring for yourself wasn't reduced to, what am I buying for myself? What am I paying for myself?
I think so, 100%.
What
yeah.
am I fixing? You know, because this reminds me of like that conversation of like, if you have the money to fix a physical flaw, should you?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it enough to be like, this actually doesn't bother me, I'm okay,
Right.
and I'd rather put my money towards other things that would give me more value, like a house.
Right, because it's this idea of self-care that leads to jealousy too, which makes people unhappy.
Talk more about that.
Well, like when you say, you know, self-care is going and getting pampered, looking your best. It's some people think, you know, I'm going out and performing self-care by going and getting a Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Nope.
A Brazilian
Wax?
No, maybe it's not Brazilian. I'm thinking of a booty.
Oh, a Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, a Brazilian butt lift. Thank you. Yeah, and that's like a form of self-care. And some people, you know, and
self-investment. Yeah.
Right, and it's because they feel better afterwards because they like how they look. Right, mentally they feel better. They feel like they've achieved the next pinnacle level of what society has to offer within its hierarchy.
Because it's so focused on society and how you measure up to others.
Mm-hmm. And that breeds the jealousy from others because that system has been created, and so you have all these people with the money and funds that can self-care, quote unquote, for themselves in that way, whereas others cannot, and they have to contend with that, or they have to beat themselves up about it.
Which is, I guess, going back to one of those other loves about like maybe to some extent the hospitality, but to another extent like that general like unconditional love or just love for strangers or whatever, is that like unfortunately people will base whether or not they show you that kind of love based off of like how you look or even like how what you can do for them or provide for them, you know, through your own social capital.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, there are definitely times, I bet, in which you're about to walk into a public bathroom and you see a particular person walk out and you're like, dang, what's this gonna look like?
No, I never thought that. In the stall? Like, I've never gone into the stall and been like, geesh, I bet they blew it up. Is that what you're saying? No, I've never thought that.
Me either.
I've never thought that.
That's so weird. Who's out here thinking things
don't even
like
make that connection.
Uh-huh.
Anybody can have diarrhea. Anybody can be messy. Like, what?
Yeah, but if you see a person who looks a bit more disheveled.
No. I have never once thought, man.
There's a okay,
no.
Okay, but let's be real.
There's
for a
not.
There is a correlation between how you just care for your basic hygiene and how you look generally, and how maybe you might be behaving within the bathroom.
I promise you, I've never once thought that. And I'm not even trying to cap.
Well, okay,
for the
no.
pod.
It's not even. It's not even about thinking that.
I've
anymore.
never felt that.
It's not about feeling it.
It's never crossed my mind.
Stop it. It's now just about that there being a correlation there. I'm just trying to make the argument.
But there's not, because there's lots of people who would put so much value, like so much into their own physical appearance that's all they care about. So they don't feel the need to steward over a shared place.
No.
Only
it's
care
not about the shared
themselves.
place. But if they only care about themselves, then they're going to make sure they hit the mark.
Not necessarily.
If they don't hit the mark,
like they're just going to make sure they don't pee on themselves. Yeah.
Right. But that
doesn't
important.
That doesn't say anything about the space.
We're
there are people who like barf.
We're going to take this part out.
No, leave it. If we're leaving in the masturbation part, we're leaving this in.
Different. That's
no, it's
different.
Not. This is funny.
I sound like a
music.
booty hole.
I know you don't.
But I just want you to contend
I don't
that the
agree.
correlation is there.
No, I don't think so.
We just disagree on human nature then.
We do. It's my fault, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't think that way.
Anywho, the reason I brought that up was because that was going to be and I guess it still is. It's an example of creating a hierarchy based off how people tend to care for themselves.
Which I think is bull.
Well, and listen.
But I guess maybe it's
well,
just
no. It is bull. Should I have that thought? And no, I shouldn't. Does it stop me from going into the bathroom? No. Like, it doesn't change my behavior, right? And I'm not looking at them when they come out of the bathroom and going like doing a side eye thing, like some mean girl person, you know. Like, I'm not making it a thing, but I'm saying just like, has society inserted that thought into my head by portrayal of people in movies and films and shows about things in that situation? Yes, that is why the idea comes to
that. Yeah, that's what I was like. Where is that coming from?
That's why the idea comes into my mind
from TV. Because like if someone's coming out and they're like, God, don't go in there. It's always like some frumpy.
Oh, thank you. I saved it. I saved myself. Yeah. Okay.
No, I've never thought about that, but you're right, and that's shame on them.
The thought enters the brain.
That's not even like a real. That's not real.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I'm saying. TV and movies.
They've done a number. Up. They do.
Yeah,
they do.
They've done a number.
Because it's so pervasive. Because these themes are recurring.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, they just give you what they want you to think, but I don't know why they want you to think that.
Well, it's for comedy. A lot of times they use it for comedy.
I think it's funnier if someone who looks really nice, or like they're really put together, and they walk out of the bathroom and you're like, God dang!
The unexpected. That's like another huge form of comedy.
Yeah, that's so much funnier.
I agree. I would agree with that. But that's why I think it's important that I say for myself, that I reiterate that I don't do anything about it. The thought pops in my head, but I'm not judging them, right? I'm not making a snap judgment about them in that moment or anything like that.
No one hates you.
Yeah, I know. I'm too lovable. I got so much agape around me.
Yeah, he's well agaped.
Yeah, well agaped. Yeah.
Well, this was different from how I thought we were going to talk about love, but it was good.
Did you think we were going to get mushy gushy? Because if you expected that, don't expect that from me.
Yeah.
Cam and I we're both very like kind of reason based. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why too. Like, I don't know if I understand if people get with a person and they're very much like that, oh, love is blossoming, and like, oh my God, and they romanticize like a whole lot of stuff. I can understand that person kind of leaning in to it, you know. But I do think you just got to be a little bit careful when it comes to love. I guess my final kind of thought or message would be to just be careful about how much you're relying on another person for that love, and for how much you are saying or thinking that you love them. And you said something earlier too near the beginning where you were talking about how is it really love if a person is, maybe kind of just more in love with the idea of the attachment or of having somebody than of that person themselves. And I wanted to say that I think that it's a little bit relative. Let's say that like a person says they love someone and they're a genuinely nice person, the other individual, and they have some similarities and everything, but they also maybe never have been in a real relationship before or experienced a lot of dynamics with different people, and so maybe they really feel like they really do maybe love that person, but it may be. And they may also feel really attached to them too, though, because they don't have a lot of other people around them. But their love that they're feeling, while real for that person, may not be to the full knowledge or capacity that they know they could, or they may be loving them in a way where if they met more people and grew their understanding of others and all of this, that they may be like, oh, well, I actually like these other things a lot more about these other people. They're expanding their knowledge base, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that sometimes too, love is kind of just relative to like your world experience, I guess. Does that make sense?
No, I think you're right. I think love is relative and circumstantial.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I was going to say is that if my final message, if you are the type of person who romanticizes a lot about life in general, so naturally you're going to infuse this romantic energy into your relationships with people. But what I would say there is that if you know you're that kind of person, understand the like, be yourself. And if that's your natural inclination, then be that way. But also understand that what you're doing and how you're experiencing things is such a heightened sensory experience that for you, it's very normal. And that doesn't say your emotions aren't heightened as well. But when you're falling in love with someone else and you expose them to that, they're going to take it to mean a lot if that's not their nature.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something I think that, I feel like I was a very romantic person, romanticized a lot of things. And I feel like I'm a little bit more sober-minded, I would say, is the best way to put it, about love these days. Because I'm not, romanticizing in your head is another form of intellectualization.
Yes.
It's like when you write a poem, like you're choosing the floweriest, the most evocative expression. And that's what romanticizing love is. You're trying to just exist in this space where you're whirling your emotions around, and it's beautiful, but it's also just like a lot. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with having like love that feels straightforward.
And I think that's just more of like a communication thing too.
It is, for sure.
Because you can say, I'm showing all this to you and you may not be like this. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm just being expressive.
Right. Right.
It's not to say that like, don't think about this relative to you. Just understand this is how I am.
And on the flip side, if the other person's not like that, that doesn't mean that they don't love you. Love can be circular, it can be straight, it can be triangular, it can have many different points to it.
It can be gay.
It can be gay. And so just be open to what that looks like. Because I haven't always been. But the more trust you have in the experience of love with the people that you're having love with, romantic or not, you get to have this whole new experience that's really meaningful if you just have a little faith.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned earlier too that maybe people don't want to understand how love works because they don't want to feel like they're being manipulated, right? And I would say that that's almost why you should try to understand kind of how love works, because only in understanding are you going to be able to try to ensure that you don't get manipulated.
Be choiceful in your love, and you can still be able to navigate love with a level head, and it still be very magical.
I think that a lot of the reasons people want love to be magical is because they're afraid that if they try to look deeper into it, they'll find that they don't love the people they think they do.
And you might not.
and that they have to leave like these situations or things they've set up for themselves, and that they're just going to have to kind of start all over. But I mean, that might be what's best for you.
Yeah, it's part of the adventure. It's scary, but what else is out there?
Yeah, let yourself be scared. That's the final message. Let yourself be scared.
But not too scared.
Oh my
it depends on, like,
it's always a caveat.
Yeah, don't, don't let it get out of hand.
Yeah.
Don't let people intimidate you in love.
Intimidate them.
No, don't do that. But anyway, thanks guys for listening. I hope that
you love someone.
You love someone, and know that we love you. We deeply appreciate you listening to this podcast. It's easier to say.
Agape.
Yeah, we agape love you. We tried to create a hospitable Xenia experience when you come and listen.
Oh my gosh.
And so just know that we appreciate you.
Some of you have my philia, and some of you have my storage.
Some of you have his storage. Yeah. So anyway, have a great day.
Like, share, subscribe, comment, buy the merch, subscribe to the Patreon. It's all there. It's waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sitting there.
Yes.
And we'll see y'all again. Farewell.
Farewell.